Gulliver Cragg. Gulliver, what is the situation on the ground after that massive assault?
Well, I'm standing in front of one of the numerous sites in Kyiv that were hit overnight. It's a car dealership. As you can see, they're cleaning up, clearing away the broken glass. There are scenes like this all over the Ukrainian capital today. And there was actually another minor, if you like, drone strike, but one drone hit something in the Lukyanivka area in the middle of the day already, not that long ago before I came on air. So there's still this tense atmosphere of maybe it's not yet over. It wasn't only Kyiv that was targeted, contrary to expectations, because after the Russians' warning a week ago, the Ukrainian capital had been gearing up to be the focus of all of the next big strikes coming from the Russians. But in fact, Dnipro was also targeted. That's actually where most people were killed in these overnight strikes. That's in the centre east of the country. There was also a strike on Kharkiv, an industrial facility in Zaporizhia, and some targets in the Poltava region, also in the centre east of the country, were hit. So it was once again kind of cross the board strike. There were industrial and military targets that were hit, as the Russians had been saying that they would target industrial and military targets. I know of at least one major Ukrainian defense company in Kyiv whose premises have been largely destroyed. But the Ukrainians are placing, of course, the emphasis on the fact that it certainly wasn't only military and industrial targets that suffered. Several clinics in the Ukrainian capital have suffered severe damage, also residential homes. And also, perhaps this gives you an idea of the way that this affects the economy and affects people's daily lives, even among those who aren't injured or who don't suffer severe damage to their property. We had a bit of furniture damaged in the last strike a week ago, and it was supposed to be repaired tomorrow, but today we got a call from the company that was going to bring the replacement part, accompanied with a little video of his premises, and it's very clear from the video why he's saying he's no longer going to be able to do it tomorrow, and he hopes that he'll be able to do it, sometime in the future. So, far beyond the terrible grief of those who are, injured and killed, there's also an effect for so many more citizens of Ukraine to varying degrees, and most importantly for the economy in general, every time there is one of these huge strikes.
Now, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is calling on the US for more arms and on the EU to develop its own air defence system. But with a lot of attention on the crisis in the Middle East, Kyiv is finding itself in a very difficult position, isn't it?
Well, it's odd because the crisis in the Middle East has really been a double-edged sword for Kyiv, increasing the cost of petrol and distracting the Americans, and perhaps leading less of the air defense systems that it really needs to shoot down the hypersonic missiles that Russia keeps firing. That's been bad. And once again, the Air Force spokespeople were saying that Ukraine doesn't have enough ammunition to shoot down Russia's fastest missiles. 8 of the Tirkon hypersonic missiles, which are supposed to be for targeting ships, but they often use them these days to target cities, were fired at Kyiv overnight. None of them were shot down. There's a real deficit there. On the other hand, it did give some kind of a boost to Ukraine's standing in the world, because the Gulf countries started clamoring to get their hands on Ukraine's interceptor drone technology and appeared to be willing also, although the Ukrainians were apparently asking for a lot for this, to supply Ukraine with some anti-rocket systems as well. I think that the Ukrainians are still hoping to get those soon, and will, of course, be using every attack like this to again emphasize how badly they need them.